Hi, Talkiez. Today we have someone very special, and I hope you're all ready for some. Oh, I hope you're not hungry because today we're going to talk about food. Yeah. So we'll start with the most basic question, and the question is.
Wait, I think we should introduce her like we didn't officially. Okay, so also we have a very special guest, a food blogger who goes by the name Akeli Ladki or Kahani. Interesting, right? Well, yeah. Let's get to it.
So welcome to our podcast, Teen Talks. Really happy to have you here. We've gone through your blog and everything. It looks really interesting.
Yeah, very good.
Thanks a lot.
The first question I have is, can you tell our talkies more about you and how you got into food blogging?
So I'm Madhu. I'm the person behind Akeli Ladki Aur Khana Ek Prem Kahani, a food blog with a twist. I'm an engineering student by day and by night, and a food blogger in between. So I like, much of that sounds really cliche and dumb. I like to think that my blog is sort of different from other blogs in that it's mostly got stories that just happen to have food in it.
Yeah, we read through
we read
them.
We went through your Insta and we like it. We were very curious that what's the reason behind like all the stories behind the dishes you make. So
Yeah.
By the way, I don't make them.
Yeah.
I
How did your journey start? Like, what motivated you, or how did you start food blogging?
So here's the story. Writing came to me naturally, it's
Mhm.
I could just grab a pen, just write things, and it just came very easily to me. To the point that, teachers back in school, they would ask me, could you write this for us? And mostly it was reports for a field trip or something or the other for them. I'm like, yeah, sure, give me a pen and paper. I'll write in 5 minutes. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, it came naturally to me. So one day, my whole writing journey started on Blogger, where I started writing a blog about sustainable living.
Okay.
mhm.
I realized that people really don't read anymore.
Yeah. You don't.
They don't.
I don't think I would have sustained on Blogger. But yeah, this is more like a backstory to the backstory.
Mhm.
How it started was Diwali 2021. I went out to eat. I was just fresh from finishing my entrance exams, and I went outside to the Piche Wali Gali. By the way, the Piche Wali Gali is a feature in my blog. We'll come to that. And
Yeah.
I went there. I grabbed some shawarma and fries. And that day, incidentally, my friend was eating my head with food pictures. And back then, I was never someone who take pictures of food because I want to eat.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
And my food pictures are always extremely blurry.
Mm.
And but then I decided to have my revenge. I just took a picture of the food and I just sent it to her like, "Ye le, kha." And then I thought someone give me an award for itna self-confidence. Because for itna self-control. Because someone give me an award for itna self-control. Because I'm not someone who takes weights and takes pictures of food and God, no.
Yeah.
So I decided to post it on my stories. So, writing my thoughts about how the food had changed, because the last time I went to that shawarma place was pre-COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
At the end, I wrote one, Akeli Akeli Khana Khane Jana is the best. That sort of gave it the name, Akeli Ladki Aur Khana.
Oh,
It started out It started out as a joke on my stories on Instagram. So every time I ate something cool which had a story, I would just go, welcome to episode number this of Akeli Ladki Aur Khana.
Oh.
That kind of took off among my friends, and they told me, why don't you make an Instagram for this? So there it started.
that's
Yeah,
really
That's
nice.
nice.
So, like, according to you, which is like the craziest story that led you to a food, or what, according to you, was like the best story that helped you reach to a particular food place or a food or something?
Oh, yes. I feel like every single blog post so far I'm emotionally attached to them. And every single one of them is different. But then some of them are incredibly my favorites, because one of them was, episode 33, where I made Maggie in my hostel room.
Yeah, we read that.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
For context, whoever has not read my blog, for the listeners, this was right after our end semesters, when the four of us in one non-AC room, which was the worst hostel in the block. which we somehow managed to make it livable using all kinds of jugaad. We borrowed a rice cooker from our neighbor because we wanted to do something extremely outrageous together because we only had 2 months together in the first year. And they got some Maggie, and I had some packets of masala from Domino's. Threw that in
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Everyone has them.
And then we had a crap ton of Maggie on a plate at 3 in the night for the 4 of us to eat.
It sounds like so much fun. I mean, I really want to experience that kind of thing
Same.
once.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, I have experienced it too. Like with my cousin, we were like doing late night studies, and then suddenly we struck that we should make Maggie and eat. Everyone in our house was sleeping, and then we silently went to the kitchen. We like the crackling sound of the packet.
That's the
That
word.
That's
just
the
scares
word.
us.
Hai na?
Yeah, exactly. So like that was very good experience.
Well,
That must have been fun. I mean, hostel ki Maggie is the one thing. Even my parents remember that.
Yeah.
It's that iconic.
I have to look forward to it now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all of us are. Well,
Just try not to be day scholars.
Well, context of your food stories. I feel and I think they agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People today have gone a little bit crazy when it comes to food. I mean, and like when I say crazy, I mean crazy.
Crazy.
You know, it's like you get chocolate pani puris and
I was thinking about just that.
it's like what's wrong with people? So
ये क्या है
obviously there's some creativity going on, but I don't think it always hits the mark. So like,
Mm.
what's your opinion about all these new?
Unusual
Yeah.
kind of
Unusual.
food.
I have quite a bit of opinion on that. I'd literally have bone to pick with them. Some of these people, I heard about some people who try to make kala khatta Maggie for the views.
Oh,
Ew.
no.
That
क्या ये
sounds so gross.
And someone I know was behind the scenes of, the making of kala khatta Maggie. And then they said, ये सब खाएगा कौन? Fake देंगे, they said.
क्या बात है सर क्या बात है सर क्या बात ये बात है
Oh God, no.
And I was like, no.
That's bad. They
That,
shouldn't-
that is
Yeah,
bad.
chocolate pani puri, chocolate
Yeah.
Maggie even.
Ew. They
Like-
ruined Pani Puri.
Like the brand, the Pani Puri is a brand, and they ruined that brand. So like,
Exactly. Some food is just an emotion,
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
तेरी धुन कैसे न सुनूं
दिल में जो आया तू तेरी धुन कैसे न सुनूं छील जाए मेरा भी
मैगी मैगी मैगी
And that's one thing I associate with my food blogs. Emotion.
Yeah.
Whatever food I eat, it has to have some story with it.
Mm.
Correct.
Whether it's the history of the food I've eaten or whether some adventure that got me to that place or anything. It just,
I think that
unlike most food blogs, which,
Yeah, that surely makes you stand out.
yeah, that's that.
yeah.
Okay.
So we know you are a food blogger and you have a lot of food, but what is your favorite type of cuisine?
It actually depends on my mood. Some days I'm craving, cup noodles.
Mm.
Mm.
And other days I would just go have some ambur biryani in the back lane of my college.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice.
What is like one famous dish from where you live or where you living now? And what do you like about it?
I am a Bengali by
Yeah.
origin,
Yeah.
and I hope that explains my, love for food. So, my favorite kind of food, like Bengali food overall, is no, it's not machhe jhol. It's biryani.
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 Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to say something. I really don't like biryani. I don't know. I mean,
It's all right.
I'm crazy for it, but I
Like-
don't.
I'm
She's the
crazy for
odd one out.
biryani.
So
Yeah.
he's crazy for biryani. She's
Yeah.
not crazy for biryani. I'm okay with biryani.
I mean, that's fine,
Yeah.
I'm just like biryani is the top-notch food which you can get. Like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like so much
It's the right
variety.
category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, do you cook yourself or you are much of a eater? So
I do not know how to cook yet. I can bake, but I cannot cook.
Yeah.
okay.
It's
I know I'll have to learn to cook at some point, but then spending most of my time in a place where I don't have access to a kitchen. That's probably not going to be
yeah.
quite soon, but I know I'll have to learn how to cook, and maybe I'll end up liking it at some point. But I like baking.
Exactly.
You like baking?
Yep.
Oh, same. I love baking too.
I specialize in brownies.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
You know what's different is we don't know anything about cooking. Well, she knows
A
something.
little bit, but
Yeah,
not
but
as
I
much.
don't know anything. And Daksh and Ritvis over here, they know everything about cooking.
They'll literally
Really?
tell
Yeah.
you the textures like
Yeah,
this.
so
There's too
we
much
were-
onion.
We were
Yeah.
eating a food dish like kachi dabeli. I don't know if you know it. And then
Who doesn't know it, Mugdha?
Like
we don't know it.
it's kind of a local street food, but
Yeah, in
Where are you guys from?
Pune.
Pune.
Pune, acha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that you said you were eating?
kachi dabeli.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah. So then they both were describing how we've ordered it from two different places. So they were
Mhm.
telling, see, the texture is different here. The onion is more over here.
This one's perfectly sealed.
Sealed.
I do this a lot with brownies. My guilty pleasure is judging the hell out of brownies. You can't just take a chocolate cake and just call it a brownie and call it a day. No.
No,
I
we
mean,
agree.
yeah.
I once tried making the 2 minute. You get the 2 minute cupcake. It was famous in the lockdown. I
Oh
tried
yes, the
that,
cake in a mug.
burned.
I know, right? I tried that before it was cool.
Oh.
I was in 5th grade.
Okay. So my favorite part of the whole thing, like, I mean, I love dessert. And you're a Bengali, right? So
Yes.
you might have a knock for sweets. So
I actually had an uncontrollable sweet tooth, but now my taste is going towards spicy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of back when I was in 10th, I used to run cross country.
Okay.
So I just stopped sugar altogether. Like just stopped.
Okay.
And ever since then, I guess, and for some reason I started liking spicy food a lot.
Like
Fun
okay.
fact, I heard it really helps you lose weight. And second in by that, I take. And I've grown up in Bangalore,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've spent all my life in Bangalore. So unlike most Bengalis, my spice tolerance is incredibly high and I love spice.
Okay. What's
But then
your favorite?
Durga Puja just got done and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up eating quite a bit of sweets.
Don't worry, everybody did. So
Yeah.
you're not alone.
So yeah.
What's your favorite part of food? Like the starters, the main course, the dessert?
Everything actually. I have no bias. Like there are times when I just fill myself up on starters and call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Happens with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
In those unlimited buffet places, that's where it happens, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Well, what is your 3 favorite type of dishes, and then 3 that you really you can't tolerate at all?
I've never gotten tired of pizza.
Oh, same.
Okay.
Not Domino's though.
No.
No.
Pizza.
Okay. For
Pizza
me.
is a bit better, I think. Your favorite dishes and 3 you can't really tolerate.
Few of my favorite dishes would be pizza,
Mhm.
pani puri,
Yes, obviously.
and biryani.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And food I cannot stand. My mom makes this dalia ka khichdi. I absolutely hate that.
okay.
Okay.
What else? What else do I hate? As I grow up, the list of items I hate is drastically reducing. But I think I would say South Indian biryani.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they serve tomato rice in the name of biryani. Sorry, South Indians.
Mukta here is a South Indian.
Yeah, I am from Karnataka actually.
Oh,
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Arcot biryani.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Or the Sunday wala biryani they
Yeah,
serve in a mess.
I feel like it's more of like they're trying to try to like copy the biryani, but it doesn't come out right.
Yeah, if you really want something I cannot stand, it's veg biryani.
no one
It's
There is
pulao,
can.
it's not
pulao,
even
pulao.
pulao.
Exactly. Pulao kehte hain.
It is called pulao.
Not veg biryani.
Like it's the most
Okay,
controversial.
we don't
topic.
mean to offend any vegetarian listeners. You
Yeah.
guys do
Yeah.
you, but yeah.
You guys just satisfy yourself calling it veg biryani, but it's pulao. Okay.
Yeah, it is pulao.
All right. What about speaking of your mom, what's one of her favorite, like one of the dishes she makes and you just love,
That list has been growing exponentially. My mom makes this really good Chinese style preparation of anything, whether that's chicken liver or chicken wings or even any kind of red meat. It's her own recipe, and every time I come home, I'm like, I want to eat this.
Like,
My mom is a pro in jugaad, She
you have to agree upon this. Every Indian is pro in jugaad. Like if you take,
है ना?
yeah, exactly.
You're talking to an engineering student here.
Yeah,
I have no
okay.
idea how much we've done in a day.
All right.
That's so.
She does like small innovations that make a big big difference.
Mm.
So, for example, the Chinese style thing. Basically, she mixes a whole bunch of sauces along with some honey, and you can just throw in anything and it tastes amazing. And I think it seems, and she's told me it's incredibly easy. I don't believe her, but then she told me it's pretty easy. Another thing that she makes really well is this white sauce pasta. She takes, yesterday's basi bread,
Okay.
Mhm.
turns it into breadcrumbs, mixes it with some cheese, and sprinkles it on top before putting it for baking.
Oh.
Again, it's her own thing. And every time I took that pasta to school, and my mom makes it with chicken, so half the people could not eat it. But every time I just got it, vegetarian essay,
Hmm.
it would go before I had enough for myself to eat.
I experience that so much.
Yeah.
I feel that, the same thing happens to me. Sometimes, like, my mom cooks something, everybody likes it, it's gone. And then I'm like, let me eat
Yeah.
it. My mom made delicious meat.
We all went to the same school, right?
Yeah.
So if someone bought very tasty food, we would jump right into the food, and the person who's got the food actually doesn't get to eat it.
So like
That is one part of school life I sorely miss. Now we're all here struggling with mess ka khana.
How, okay,
Yeah, how
honestly,
is-
rate the food in your mess.
Honestly.
It's extremely inconsistent to say the least.
Okay.
On one day it could be 11 out of 10. Another day it could be minus I.
okay.
I mean, there's some things in the mess which I really like. Like they make this bread halwa sometimes for dessert. What do? They take some of yesterday's bread and they fry it in ghee. They make a whole sweet paste out of it and mix some cashew nuts and all that. And there's your bread halwa. I absolutely love that thing. It's criminally underrated.
No,
Sounds
it's
cool,
called
actually.
Yeah.
Shahi Tukda, I guess.
It's like a sasta version of Shahi Tukra, you can say.
Okay. So like it's
Or maybe a
much-
Tamilian version of Shahi Tukra.
Sorry.
A Tamilian version of Shahi Tukra, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of Tamilian families make this bread halwa thing for dessert every time there's some unexpected guests coming over, some family function. You find bread halwa somewhere or the other.
It sounds like a quick fix kind of thing, so it must work.
It is. I don't know why most people don't like the bread halwa, but I really do.
That's nice.
Apart from bread halwa, they make biryani every Sunday, but that depends heavily on my mood.
Okay.
There
So,
are
like,
days when
if
I
they're
feel
in
like-
good mood, they'll make very nice biryani, and then if it depends upon the chef who makes it, right?
yeah, and it depends on my mood whether or not I want to eat it. Because there's some days where I don't want to eat something really heavy and oily. Like today was one such day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And the other days I'm like, yeah, bring on the biryani.
I guess I think that's the one like downside of being in a mess. I mean, you can't
Hmm.
really choose what you want to eat.
That's there. That's what makes me miss home food a lot,
Yeah.
My mom would tell me that every time I made a fuss about dalia ka khichdi, that I'm going to really miss home food. Well, I must admit she's right, but I still hate dalia ka khichdi, and I would still prefer the mess wala ghatiya khana to that.
The truth can't be buried.
That you. I really hope your mom doesn't hear this.
Oh, my mom actually has no idea I'm doing this.
Okay.
That's nice.
Do you like ice creams?
I love ice cream.
Yes.
What's your favorite kind of flavor?
Flavor.
And what's the weirdest flavor you've come across? Because I know
Yeah.
there's like really weird flavors out there.
I haven't come across any flavor which I call weird, but then I've had, there's this one Bengali kind of flavor. It's called Nolin Good ice cream. It's like
Okay.
during the winter or spring months when they make fresh jaggery from, the sugarcane crops. That first batch of jaggery is called, Nolingu, or like New Jaggery, if you want to
Yeah.
directly translate it.
Okay.
So they usually make sweets out of that, like shandesh or payesh and all that. And then some people decide to turn that into ice cream. I tried that and I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really like it.
Oh, nice.
Some people, I've tried pan ice cream and I hated that. I hate pan flavored anything, by the way.
I don't like pan ice cream either. I've tasted it. It's just weird. It's like pan is a good thing on its own, and you put it into ice cream.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Various kind of chocolate ice cream I love. And on days I don't feel like having chocolate, it's butterscotch. It never gets sold.
Yeah.
So like pan topic just came out. So what is your like thought on fire pan or ice pan? Like recently it had been very in trend, but now I think it is just not in trend or not many people want to try it. So have you ever tried one of those?
No, I've actually never tried fire pan or ice pan, but I've tried that.
फायर पान में पता क्या करते हैं? पान में आग लगाते हैं, जलता हुआ ज्वाला छोड़ता हुआ पान आपके मुंह में डाल देते हैं. मैं कहा भाई साहब एक बात बताइए, आप पनवाड़ी हैं कि रोडीज के टास्क हो रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
And you're right, it is just that for views. I don't think anybody really likes that thing. And I'm not very sure how I would like to just have some fire shoved into my mouth.
Like I tried fire pan. The taste was just like normal pan, like the meetha pan which we call. But
Really?
the fire, it kind of brings adventure in pan. Ki, हाँ ठीक है, a fire is coming inside your mouth, and then the taste it tastes almost the same.
There's a literal fire going into
Is this the hype? Is it safe to eat though?
That's
Yeah,
my
it's
question.
safe. Like I tried it, it's safe. Like as soon as it goes inside your mouth, you close your mouth, so there's no oxygen, so the fire just goes off,
Extinguishes.
it extinguishes as soon as
Ah,
it-
yes. Science.
It's still,
Yeah,
it's still
science.
scary. It's like putting a literal ball of fire in
Your mouth.
Who in their right mind would do that?
I just find it funny watching those reels, but then it's still a bit cringe.
It
Yeah.
is.
Some
Yeah.
trends, I don't know. Speaking of trends, there's one thing I've noticed, in the world of Instagram,
Hmm.
is that most people don't know how to read.
Yes.
They would rather watch reels over, read something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone from Blogspot to Instagram. And I don't think I would want to go below that. When somebody once asked me, why did you make reels?
Hmm.
But then reels are still a no for me. I'm into old-fashioned reading,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think it's writing that makes my
Like,
stories come out the way I want them to.
That's
Mm.
nice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is there anything else that you would want us and our listeners to know about you or about food or about
Yeah.
anything in general?
Let's see, what am I missing?
Maybe a
Damn,
bit of food.
you could add an entire section on hostel food and,
Yeah.
Fun fact. I actually whenever I get order Domino's or anything, I hoard the masalas in my backpack in case there's some bland thing that needs some spicing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of bland things, a lot of people in India think that European food is horrible because they don't put spices in it. I don't think that's necessarily true because it's like you don't have to put spices in everything to make it good. But like, what's your take on it?
When I was younger, I was not a huge fan of Indian food, I'll be honest.
Mhm.
But as I grew up, I've been loving Indian food a lot more than Western. I must say that.
Mhm.
Especially South Indian food, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that it is true. You don't need to add spice to everything, but it's got to have some flavor.
Yeah.
I feel like most of it is just bland boiled chicken. Like, for example, some things are better in the Indian style than the Western style. For example, red meat.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Red meat as it is pretty sensitive because you really have to do a very good job at slow cooking it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My dad tried cooking, barbecuing. It just turned out to be a hard mess. But then my dad, he bought this thing called an ikmik cooker. It's the steel tiffin carriers. It's like a bigger version of that. You
Okay.
put in charcoal at the bottom
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you slow cook meat
Yeah.
or anything for that matter for like 4, 5, 6 hours. It was a staple in Bengali households for, picnics and stuff. They would go for picnics in the winter. They would take the Sikmi cooker along with whatever food they want to make. You just put it one layer on top of the other. My dad cooks red meat, whether that's mutton or pork or anything, in that thing. And oh my God, it's beautiful.
We can get
Slow
it.
cooking is something I don't think Europeans know how to do.
The way how you explained it showed how much, it's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
Nice.
yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and we really had a yummy time, I would say.
Sorry for the horrible food puns. I mean, we can't help ourselves.
I love bad puns.
Okay. We wish you the very best for your foodie journey. Like obviously foodie journey.
Thank you.
And hope it grows to phenomenal taste. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be sure to put your links in the description. Obviously.
Yeah, so guys,
Yes, do.
check her out.
Yeah.
She has some amazing posts, and do follow her.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I think that should be a compulsion to follow her.
Well, they're missing out if they don't.
All right. Cool.
Yes.
Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.